Hello everyone, today we're going to talk a little bit about performing shipments in the eP360 suite. Now, the whole purpose of the shipping module within the eP360 suite is to really track your reusable assets as they move amongst your organization or outside of your organization. And the idea here is to be able to know when they left, where they went, and then when they came back, and you can use that to calculate metrics like dwell and turn, and really use this information to optimize your logistics stream from a reusable asset point of view. Now, the system is set up into two different sides. The first side is designed for outbound shipments, and that will be referenced via the shipping screen here. Now, the other half of the system is based on inbound shipments or for the receiving screen. Now, functionally, these systems are completely identical. However, for the purposes of today's exercise, we're going to talk about external shipments, which will be done through the shipping screen. Now, you'll notice here is this screen is split into two different sections. The first section is for RFID portal-based shipments, and this is for when I want to light up an RFID portal and then load, say, a truck through that portal, and I identify all of the assets that have been passed through that portal. We would use this table over here. This table over here is used for non-portal shipments, and this would allow you to do things like grab a USB barcode scanner and initiate a shipment and add things via barcode scan, but we don't necessarily need an RFID portal to be able to initiate shipments. But today we're going to talk about portal-based RFID shipments. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and select a portal that we want to begin a shipment on. So we're going to go ahead and click that right now. And as you'll notice, there's a very few important pieces of information on the screen that you should be aware of. First is the ship to site. So this is going to be your final destination site that the shipment is ultimately going to be going to. There's some very powerful searching functions built into this piece, which we will talk about in a second. But for right now, let's talk about the other pieces. And you have some other fields here. This is order number, shipping ID, and trailer ID. And just to give you an idea of what these are so that your enterprise or your organization can capture any additional information around a shipment that they want to do. For example, you could have your organization wants to capture order number so that you can use, say, an SAP integration to determine when order numbers have been fulfilled, for example. Or maybe you want to be able to track the individual trailer or vehicle ID that a shipment has been loaded on for use in another system somewhere else, right? All three of these fields right here can be turned on and off by your enterprise administrator, so you can determine whether or not these fields are important to you or whether they're not. And if they're not important to you, we'll turn them off and we'll hide them from the user so that they don't have to worry about them. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the destination site. So what we're going to do here is pick where this shipment is going to be going to. So what you're going to do here is grab any type of paperwork you have, such as your BOL, and look at the destination site. Now, oftentimes, the name of a site in one system is not the name of a site in another system, and this is a fairly common occurrence. So we built a very powerful searching feature into this system to allow you to very quickly search on site name or the city or the address, or even say a customer code or vendor code or something like that you'd like to search to. So all you have to do here is type just a few letters and hit the enter key or hit the magnifying lens. So what I'm going to do is type 111, which we're going to say is the first half of a 6-digit vendor code number that you may want to be able to look something up based on. And I'm going to hit the enter key. Now, as you can see, one listing has shown up here, and it has searched through everything, name, city, state, but it did identify that, hey, there is a 111 in the code field, so we're going to select this as a potential option. And I'm going to do a couple of other searches just to kind of give you an example. So if I delete it all the way out, it's going to take off all the filters and show me the entire list of maybe in this example, we've got 4, but you could have thousands of sites in here, right? And as you just start typing, it will start narrowing down the list as you type. And it's, like I said, it's going to search in every single one of these fields. We could also search, say, Deerfield on the city, right? Or we can search on the name, anything you'd like to do. But for this example, we're going to search based on site code. We put in the first 3 digits, and oh, this is the actual one we want, and we're going to select it. So now we have a destination site. And in this system configuration, the enterprise administrator has decided that we need order number, shipping ID, and trailer ID. So we're going to go ahead and fill those in right now. And then we're going to go ahead and start shipment. So once we do that, the portals, while they were always listening for RFID events, they're now paying attention to these RFID events. So this is the part where you would go out with your forklift or your hand cart and you would start loading the truck through this portal. And as you do that, you can hit this refresh button right here and it will start listing everything that it sees in this nice little table right here. And just to kind of give you an example here, I'm going to go ahead and put in a barcoded asset just so that you can kind of see what it looks like once it has real assets in the system. So I'm going to go ahead and put a barcode in here. I'm also going to put a bad tag. And this is just to kind of show you what the system does. Say this was a good real barcode, say, and maybe this was not the right barcode or something was input incorrectly, right? And then we're going to hit scan and complete. Now the system's going to go, hey, you had an invalid barcode. It's going to throw out anything that wasn't a real barcode that wasn't already matched with something in the system, and it's going to add everything that was a real barcode that exists in the system to this shipment. So as you notice now, we've got one shipment that started at 10:25 a.m. and it's got one asset on it right now. So there's a couple of things you can do from this screen. The first is you can just close the screen. So that's this close button or the X. Just a very important note, this doesn't close the shipment, it closes the window. So when you do that, you can go back to close, and as you can see, this portal is still active. There's still an active lane assignment, and you can still continue to load this shipment on this portal, and it will continue to add assets to that portal. So we can actually reopen that existing portal, and we're going to go ahead and start to finalize this shipment. So we're going to hit the next screen. This next screen is going to give you basically a summary. It's going to show you all the different types of assets that have been scanned so far and give you the ability to manually override it. And this is what gives you the ability to say, I've got 1,000 assets in my fleet, but I've only tagged half of them. The system just saw one, but I did actually load 10 on because the other 9 don't have tags on them yet. I want the shipping records to show that I actually moved 10 things, knowing that we only had a RFID record, for example, for one of them, right? So this gives you the ability to override that for your non-tagged assets. Then you can go ahead and complete the shipment. And once you do that, it's going to ask you one more time to make sure you are 100% ready, and then you hit the yes button. And when you do that, that actually closes out the shipment. And if you'll notice, that red light has gone away and it's gone back to green, and that will allow you to initiate a new shipment on this portal right here. And that's a wrap. That's all you have to do to be able to handle outbound shipments. The inbound shipments is a nearly identical process as we talked about before. The only difference is you would go from this receiving screen where you can start a bunch of inbound shipments, but functionally it's the exact same. And with that, we will wrap things up and I will see everybody next time. Thanks. Bye.